that's in regards to the Nuggets because they bleeding out. They got a big old gash in their freaking tummy and just stuff's going everywhere. I'm sorry, Scotty. Sorry, you said there's a giant gash and it needs filled? Connery, God, go. Mother, holy, I am so sorry. Scotty, you mislead me all the time. That's inappropriate. Yeah, I'm inappropriate. Guys, I apologize for Connery. Yes, we got a great sports section coming your way. We're broadcasting from the Storms Bros Junk Removal Studios. Check them out at stormsbrothersjunk.com. Sorry. I'm still thinking about Connery. He's inappropriate. He is. In today's sports section, we're going to talk about the Colorado Rockies sweeping the New York Mets. I mean, it's the Mets, but still, those are notches in the right category. Charles Barkley rips Denver Nuggets head coach David Adelman. Oh, and everybody's happy about it. Nikola Jokic started a fight as the game was ending the other day, and we decide whose fault was that? Who was in the wrong? The Colorado Avalanche swept the Kings, but could that have been a bad thing? The Colorado Mammoth, indoor lacrosse here in Colorado, obviously, they got screwed big time, and not enough people are talking about this. We're going to recap the NFL draft, looking at the Denver Broncos, Cleveland Browns doing classic Cleveland Brown things, and Heisman finalist Diego Pavia went undrafted. And I'm going to explain why that happened. If you didn't know. Anyway, guys, make sure you interact with the show any way you can. Hit the like button, subscribe button, enable the notifications, all that stuff. If you're able to leave a comment, that's fantastic. I love it when you're able to do that, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, whatever. It doesn't matter. Do appreciate when you have the time to do so. But what we should do right now, guys, let's go ahead and just jump into the sports section.
He's walked the hallowed grounds of Folsom Field, Coors Field, and Mile High Stadium.
He runs with the 50. He runs with the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
It's time for sports with DeHuff.
Well, looking at the NFL draft, I didn't pay that much attention to it, to be honest, with so much going on. And we'll get into the Nuggets and Avalanche. But, I mean, it was funny. I am looking at social media on Saturday night, and I had two games that I helped coach over the weekend for Little League Baseball. And then I'm like, oh, shit, the draft is already over. The draft is fucking over. Are you kidding me? I wasn't that interested in it. It's exciting, but I'm not going to be locked into it. I'll just wait for the details as they came out. And to be honest, I wasn't really shocked about a lot of the big moves or the outcome, I should say. Starting with the Cleveland Browns. Guess what they did? The classic Browns doing stupid shit. The Cleveland Browns, who already had 3 quarterbacks on their roster, decided in the 6th round that they were going to select another quarterback. Why? Unless they make this guy, they convert him into a kind of a weapon X. That's the only thing I can think of. And if that's the case, that's fine. That's fine. Because they already have Deshaun Watson, who's coming back from injury. You got Shedeur Sanders, who worked his way up in the ranks to become the starting quarterback at the end of the season. And you also have Dylan Gabriel, who's there. And according to their GM, they don't plan on getting rid of any of their quarterbacks. So that makes me think, while on paper it looks silly with the Browns getting another quarterback and having 4 in their quarterback room, that there's a good chance that they're just going to use that guy as more of an option type of fella. He's going to be a receiver or a special play type of guy. I could see that being the thing. And if that's the case, that's great. If they don't do that, then classic Browns being dumb as fuck. Diego Pavia, the Heisman finalist last year, went undrafted. The Vanderbilt QB, kind of controversial. He broke records at the school, balled out, but he tends to rub people the wrong way because he's so confident. And I think part of that is because there's so many people that push against him and don't believe in him. So he comes out and just is more aggressive. He just has that personality. But while he went undrafted, the good news is I guess that he did accept an invitation to next weekend's mini camp with the Baltimore Ravens. That's according to Adam Schefter. That's good. But again, he just rubs people the wrong way. And I think that led to his, getting passed over. You're literally, the Cleveland Browns are like, you know what? We'll take Taylon Green over Diego Pavia, which, again, kind of cements the idea that the Browns are going to use that guy for something else. But doesn't that kind of tell you that he really, really made a bad name for himself? Attitude means a lot, guys, in work, in sports, whatever. There's a fine line between confidence and being a cocky motherfucker. And I think he's crossed that line, and he's now in the cocky motherfucker category. So this is a lesson to young players. It doesn't really matter how good you are. It doesn't. If you fucking piss people off and nobody wants to play with you or work alongside you, you're a bad sport, bad teammate, you're just an asshole, your stock is going to plummet. It is. Look at all these other guys. Who is it? OBJ? He's not on a team. Apparently, he rubs people the wrong way. Here's the other thing with Pavia. He's also 5'10", so that is kind of a knock on him. Now, that being said, Bryce Young for the Carolina Panthers, he's 5'10", he's the starter. Kyler Murray, he's competing in Minnesota with JJ McCarthy. He should get that starting position. So Bryce Young, Kyler Murray, both are 5'10", same as Pavia. Russell Wilson, he's an unrestricted free agent. He's 5'11", and he's found a lot of success in the NFL. The typical starter in the NFL is right around 6'3", if you want to average it out-ish. So I don't know if it's purely on height, but that's just another notch in the negative category. I mean, if he was 6 foot, I think that they'd be more inclined to put him on their board and go, yeah, let's give him a try. But nobody even wanted to give him a try. Nobody wanted to, kick the tires on that fucker. It will be interesting to see what happens. What needs to happen is if he doesn't make it to a roster, if he doesn't get invited to a training camp, he needs to just suck it up and go see what he can do in the CFL. And listen, that's better than no paycheck. And a lot of great quarterbacks have done that. Doug Flutie, another mini quarterback, did great. Kurt Warner did the same thing. Not a mini quarterback, but he still did that because it was, if you're really passionate about being a quarterback in the NFL and you just love the game, then you do whatever you can to stay relevant and to prove that you got it. This is probably a great thing to have happened to Diego Pavia as long as he allows it to be. Look at Shedeur Sanders being humbled by falling so far in the draft, and then finally the Cleveland Browns picked him up. This is, in a sense, the same fucking thing. It can be a good thing for him if he allows it to be. Let that be the fuel. Put that fucking chip on your shoulder. This is a free chip that they just put on your shoulder. He goes in to Baltimore, lights it up. Guess what? Boom. You just proved all these other motherfuckers wrong, and now you have that fucking chip that you need to let sit there the rest of your career. So I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just even more up to him to prove everybody wrong. The Philadelphia Eagles did something kind of crazy, but not unheard of. They took a guy, I don't know if I'm saying his first name right, Uar Bernard from Nigeria. Never played football, did play basketball, I believe. Dude is what you would call just a specimen. Weighs in at 306 pounds, ran a 4.53 40. Dude is fast, huge, and it has 6% body fat. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I don't have that. I don't have 6% body fat. It's a little bit more, I'm going to guess, but it's not that. That's not unheard of. This happens a lot where guys are either recently experiencing football or they've never done it at all. But the thing is, he's athletic. You watch the combine footage of him. I don't know if he was in the combine or at least the workouts. He was, I mean, he looks like he's played before as far as the drills go. He doesn't look awkward. So we'll see. That's going to be an interesting one. And it proves that it's not always a straight path to your dreams. Sometimes you take detours. And how cool would that be is if he ended up being something special. Colorado CU Buffs finished the 2026 NFL draft without a single selection, just a year removed from having 4 players drafted. But former CU quarterback Caden Salter is going to participate in Titans rookie minicamp. So that's cool. I know everybody wants to shit on Deion Sanders. Listen, he didn't have that great of players last year. That shit happens. He was riding the coattails in a weird way to say this. Deion Sanders was riding the coattails of Shedeur Sanders as well as Travis Hunter and a few other guys. They had a great roster for those 2 seasons. And now it's just fallen off. So he has to rebuild it. I don't know if it's going to be. I predicted that Deion wouldn't make it, I think, to this next season as far as that he may quit. But, I mean, I'm fine if I'm wrong. I just want the Buffs to be relevant and a great example or a great meter to tell you that they've been successful is if you have players that end up getting drafted. You think about the early 90s, the Mac era here for CU, they had guys going to the NFL all the fucking time. So whether it was Alfred Williams, Chad Brown, or oh God, I can't even think of his name right now, Cordell Stewart, stuff like that, guys. It's a good sign if your players are getting drafted. But as of right now, CU, kind of having a dry spell. We'll see what happens next season. But until then, whatever. Looking at the Denver Broncos, I think they had a good draft. And I can't pronounce the first guy's name. And I feel stupid because I'm like, I should know how to say his name. But again, I wasn't paying that much attention. Tyler Oneedham, sure, that sounds right. Defensive tackle from Texas A&M. Jonah Coleman, running back from Washington, looks really good. They got Cage Casey, offensive tackle from Boise State. I like that. They got another tight end, Justin Jolly from North Carolina State. Miles Scott, safety. Let's see, another they got 2 tight ends. Dalen Bentley from Utah and Mr. Irrelevant. They had the last 2 picks. And I was listening to the press conference. George Payton was saying there was a lot of teams inquiring on grabbing the 257th pick. They got Red Murdoch, linebacker from Buffalo. And I got to be honest, looking at the footage of him and going through some stats, yes, quote unquote, Mr. Irrelevant, but he could make this team and be a contributor. So I like what the Denver Broncos did. They should be excited about it. You as CU Buff, or why do I keep going back to that? Denver Bronco fans, you should be happy as well. Let's see. Where did I bid or not? Oh, here we go. Here's Sean Payton talking about Jonah Coleman, the running back from Washington. This is the one that stood out to me. And yes, I didn't have him highlighted before, but man, the more you learn about this guy, he's a beast.
The thing that I would say is he's very physical. He can play on third down, and normally you got to project that. A lot of these guys in college, maybe the protection plan's different or limited, and so you have to develop that, and that's fine. But his frame is such when you see him that he does a really good job in blocking pressure looks. He's smart. He's tough. There was a lot to like with him.
And I didn't play the soundbite with him. He compared him a lot to JK Dobbins. And I think we can all agree. Subtract the injury of JK Dobbins, and holy poop on a stick, the Broncos have a fantastic running back. Oh, wait. So now you got 2 JK Dobbins? That's great. That's fantastic. So that's a compliment to Dobbins. That's a compliment to Coleman. If you got 2 Dobbins on the team and they're carrying the rock out of the backfield, that's great. I like that. That's where, like, okay, proof's in the pudding type of thing, guys. Obviously, you can say all this. Okay, great draft. It's all about execution now. Everybody's going to, for the most part, say that their team did great in the draft. It's all about how does it unfold? How does it get executed? We played that soundbite a while back from Sean Payton talking about how there's too many. I think he said 2/3 of the NFL focus on, did we win draft day? Did we win free agency? Did we win blah, 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 blah? Yeah, you really can't say that a team won draft day. But you can look at it and go, oh, that looks good. Man, that looks fantastic. There's a lot of promise on those guys that they drafted. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited for the Denver Broncos. Really excited with the running back room. So what happens? Then you start thinking, well, who's not gonna make it? Probably Bidet or a lot of those guys, those fringe guys in the running back room. They're just gonna have to make the team via special teams. Nothing wrong with that, but if you got two Dobbins back there, 2 Dobbins sounds like a 80s sitcom. My 2 Dobbins. And then it makes you wonder, is RJ Harvey going to last? Or are they going to trade him? I don't know. We'll see. But real quick, the Colorado Mammoth, that's indoor lacrosse, lost 13-12 in sudden death overtime to the San Diego Seals in the opening round of the NLL playoffs this last Saturday at Ball Arena. But here's the problem. The National Lacrosse League has determined that the San Diego Seals overtime goal against the Mammoth should have been disallowed. Are you fucking serious? Well, here's the thing. I appreciate that the league is coming out saying, that shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. But it goes back to, guys, this is why umpires, referees are going to be replaced. Because now the Seals are moving on to the next round. They're going to play Toronto in a best-of-3 series. The Mammoth, they don't play till fall because their season's over because of a bad call. That sucks. That really sucks. And it just goes to tell you, to show you that, that shit happens. I was explaining that to my kids this morning. I was like, man, did you hear about this? And they're like, Dad, no, we don't read the news. I was like, well, let me tell you, this is what happened with the Mammoth. And, they're like, no, that shouldn't be the case. Blah, blah, blah. The other team should go home. And I was like, no, that's not how it works. First of all, they were tied into that point. And then they got the winning goal. So you can't subtract it because then you'd have to continue on to play. And that's just dumb. It's one of those things. It happened. You got to deal with it. Move on. The league has to correct that immediately. But that's fucking life, man. That sucks major donkey dong. That's terrible. You can quote me on that, okay? The Colorado Mammoth losing on a BS goal to the Seals. That sucks donkey balls, okay? Donkey dong. Donkey dong. Donkey dong. Donkey dong. That was a video game that I tried to get released, but, cancel culture, am I right? Anyway, guys, we got more coming your way, but first, put your junk in our Hey, speaking of donkey dong, anyway, put your junk in our trunk. Storms Bros Junk Removal. If your home, garage, office, or yard is looking like a disaster zone, you're not the only one. That's okay. Don't feel bad. Don't. But guess what? You can contact Storms Bros Junk Removal. They'll help you out. It's okay. And they understand. Stuff piles up. Next thing you know, oh my gosh, this is very overwhelming. How do I get rid of all this stuff? Can't do a garage sale, or I tried to do garage sale. Nobody wanted it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. If you got junk that needs to get removed from your property, you need to contact Storms Bros Junk Removal. Go to stormsbrothersjunk.com right now. Again, stormsbrothersjunk.com right now. And sign up for a free quote. They'll get back to you very quickly. Whether it's couches, sofas, futons, mattresses, box springs, appliances, electronics, drywall, big piles of wood, doesn't matter. Construction materials, maybe you got a construction crew, and you're like, oh man, we need somebody to get rid of all this construction material. No worries. Maybe you're just doing a household project. They can help with that too. Yard waste, warehouse clearance, it doesn't matter. They do it all. They do. Go to stormsbrothersjunk.com right now. Get that free quote. That's stormsbrothersjunk.com. Give them a call if that's easier for you. 303-736-9404. Again, 303-736-9404. It's Storms Bros Junk Removal. Put your junk in our trunk. The Colorado Avalanche took on the Kings. Avs swept the Kings. Pretty great series for the Avalanche. While they swept the Kings, it wasn't an easy series. Forsberg, between the pipes for the Kings, pretty damn solid. But, it was just too much. You subtract the last game, I think the Avs won, 5-1, something like that. There was an empty netter in there, and you could tell that just once they were up 3, really, once they got that third goal, it was just like, nah, Kings aren't going to come back. They're a little bit deflated. You could see it. And then you get another goal, and then that, nail in the coffin, I guess you could say, would have been the empty netter. But, yeah, good job for the Colorado Avalanche. They're waiting to play Dallas or Minnesota. That's currently a series that's tied at 2 games apiece. Stars are favored to win as of right now. I want to say by 54%. That's what that's leaning towards. That could be wrapped up by Thursday. And I'm tuning into Altitude 92.5 this morning. Mark Mosier, who's the play-by-play guy for the Colorado Avalanche, one of my favorite people on the planet. it, somebody brought up, like, this could be too much rest. It could be too much rest for the Avalanche. And then Moj quoted Joe Sakic, being that rest is a weapon. In this stage, it could be a weapon because it gives the players time to recover. You got some older guys on the team. You got guys that are banged up. You know, I think it's more of a positive. But then I also, in hockey's such a physical game. I remember the Colorado Rockies when they rolled through the MLB playoffs. They're sweeping, right? It was awesome. They're like, holy shit, the Colorado Rockies could win the World Series. And then they ended up having like 10 days off, some crazy shit like that, because they swept all their games. So what happens? The Red Sox did not sweep their opponent. And the Rockies, we also got hit with a snowstorm around that time. So as far as preparation, it wasn't as good as it should have been. And then they got swept by the Red Sox. And part of that, I think, was they had too much time to rest. But that's baseball versus hockey. I have more confidence in the Colorado Avalanche being led by Jared Bednar and all that stuff. So I think ultimately when you look at it, I don't think it's going to be too much rest. Don't think so. And kind of looking back on that series with the Kings, yes, the Kings had a great defense, mostly Forsberg. He's a fucking brick wall back there. But then you look at either Minnesota or Dallas, that's going to be a different setting, a different battle, a different villain, different bad guy that you got to you face, right? Maybe not as great of defense, but a higher level offense. It's going to be a different type of series. Might be a little bit more high scoring, a little bit more back and forth. It's going to be fun. Playoff hockey, if you didn't know, is fun as hell to watch. It is. What's not fun to watch is watching the Denver fucking Nuggets take another giant dump on the court the other night, losing to the Timberwolves. And it just, you could tell it was not going to be in the Nuggets' favor. The Timberwolves just have the Nuggets number. Thankfully, the Nuggets won at least game one, and they're not going to get swept. I'm not confident that the Nuggets are going to win another game. I'm not. But here's what's funny. After the game, in the media room, David Adelman's talking to the press, and he gets a little fucking snippy because ultimately they're like, why you suck?
I thought it showed up today. We just didn't finish the game. And I expect us to have a great effort in game 5. I'm going to keep saying this. I don't know if you guys think I'm going to come in here and talk negatively about my team when they played that hard. That's the way I saw it. And I really trust our 2 best players will find a rhythm. And they have to find that at home in game 5. And that allows us to get back to this gym, like I said. And that's our opportunity.
All right. I don't know what fucking game he's watching, but boy, is he catty.
I am smack dab in the middle of a good old-fashioned catfight.
Meow. Hey, David, that was not a good game. Look at yourself in the fucking mirror and be honest with yourself, David Adelman. That was not a good game. It wasn't. Don't know what the fuck you're watching. That's just embarrassing, David. Come on. David, look at me. Look at your father. I know your father's an actual, legendary coach and stuff. But look at me. I'm pretending to be your father right now. Come on, pull your head out of your butt, buddy. Light a fire under their ass. Listen, I hate to bring up, an X and all, but does this happen with Michael Malone? No, it doesn't. Because he's going to be lighting a fire and explaining to them that they get paid buttloads of money to go out there and hustle their ass. If defense needs to be the focus of this game, then that's what needs to happen. Okay? Alternate. Adjust. You go back and listen to people like Gary Kubiak when he was the head coach, or if he was an assistant with the Denver Broncos when they're winning Super Bowls and whatnot, right? Or going to the Super Bowl, whatever, okay? The point is you have to adjust. He would do that, okay? Things have changed. They're presenting this. We need to attack this differently now. I know we prepared for this, but this is what has to happen. That's what you do. That's what champions do. That's what elite athletes and elite coaches do. Sometimes your opponent throws you a curveball. Guess what? You need to adjust. So, David, if you can't do that, then get somebody in here that can do that. Sports fans have zero patience for bullshit like that. I just feel like David Adelman's just like, he's just being blind. The fuck, man? What did he say at the beginning? Hold on. Where's that? Not the cat fight. Not the cat fight. Let's see. Hold on.
I thought it showed up today. We just didn't finish the game. And I expect us to have a great effort in game 5.
No, you didn't show up today or in that game. There was no effort. And it's just like, I feel like it's just more wishful thinking. I'm just going to say shit and hope it happens. Come on, put the fear of God into them. Make them go out there and fucking play. Because maybe Jokic needs to light the fire under their ass. Because it seemed like maybe I don't think he did this intentionally, but hopefully this lights a fire under their ass. If you watch the end of the game, there's only like a couple seconds left on the clock, and Dickhead McGee, Jaden McDaniels goes. They're already with a very comfortable lead, goes and just lays up and just adds to the scoreboard. And Jokic gets pissy about that, runs across the court, gets in his face, puts his hands on McDaniels' jersey, immediately pulls him off, and then they're just mouthing off at each other. It's mostly Jokic. And then, who is it? Julius Randle gets in the middle of it. He's like fucking fired up. And first, I'll tell you this. Jokic got fined $50,000. That's nothing. Julius Randle, he got fined $35,000 for in that little skirmish, okay? A basketball fight, which I think we can all agree are usually the saddest of all fights in a sporting event. Okay, well, maybe soccer, but soccer, then basketball, and then baseball, and then, etc., right? So Jokic was pissed because the unwritten rule is you don't fucking just take a point just to take a point. You already won the game. That's a dick fucking move. Some might call it cunty.
C-word alert. C-word alert.
You just don't do it, okay? We had that situation the other day in Little League. I know, I'm talking about the Little League team. We're playing a team, and we're just steamrolling them, okay? We get to the point where Coach Carl comes over, and he tells me, let the kids know we're not running on stray balls, whatever, blah, 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 okay? You hit. We're not trying to take extra bases if we don't. You can get an inside the park home run but if it's you're not stealing, essentially, is what I'm saying. We're trying to be sportsmen about it. And we still ended up winning. Like, we had guys, we were just doing everything to try to keep the other team in it. I think we had some of our guys batting left-handed who are actually right-handed. And then we got fucking hits off of that. It was like, oh, shit. At first, I'm like, no, don't do it. But the guys that did it are guys that are solid hitters. And they're like, yeah, why not? Let them fuck around. When my son was like, hey, can I bat left-handed? I was like, you need to focus on right-handed hitting. He looked at me. I was like, am I right? Yes, I'm right. He did get an inside the park home run. Oh, man, that boy can fly. He's got 2 home runs on the season. We had another guy hit 2 home runs in that game. It's just, but the thing is, it's about being a good sportsman. You don't pile on. That being said, I think Jokic is in the wrong in that. And he acted a little bitchy in that situation. Just let it go. Because if all of a sudden Jokic accidentally hurts somebody, like Jaden McDaniels just said, all of a sudden I know there's this giant man in front of me, right? If somehow he gets hurt or somebody else gets hurt, next thing you know, Jokic, you're suspended for a game? Really? That's not leadership. That's stupidity. So I get it's an unwritten rule, but that there's no justification for that. You can't do that. Now, somebody says what I was going to say in the YouTube comments. So I posted the video, obviously, on YouTube. I said, who was in the wrong? Most of these names, whatever. One guy wrote, floppy man makes a scene again. Oh, he's talking about Jokic. Bad Take Police said, as much as you might hate the other guy scoring, charging full court is wild for real. One person said, bad sportsmanship wins stupid prizes. Bottom line is, it's not against the rules to score while the clock is running, but it is against the rules to put your hands on another player aggressively. Yes, see, that's the thing. As long as there is time, you can shoot. What if the opponent is 1 point ahead? Yeah, but that's not the point. The point is they weren't 1 point ahead type of thing. You got to look at the scenario. That's where it in the wrong. That was a dumb comment by you. Okay. Jokic was wrong. He put his hands on McDaniels, then put his hands down like, hey, ref, look at what he's doing to me. Classic Jokic. And he wrote, a bowl in a big pile of poo. But what could that mean? One guy wrote, motherfucker, Jokic, strong as shit. It's respect and sportsmanship thing. Dribble ball out, football, take a knee, done. Things like that don't have to be explained. One guy wrote, I mean, they are at home, so I feel like it's cool. Unless they were in Denver, then okay, I get it. That's the one I was thinking of. If it was at Ball Arena, yeah, man, I'd be pissed. But I don't know if I'd go up on them, put my hands on them. No, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, you're a dick. You're a real piece of work, you butthole, right? Somebody wrote, dickheads were fouling down 14 with 17 seconds left. Could have ran the clock out yourselves, but took another shot and pissed somebody off, whatever. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing, too. I mean, we're Nuggets fans are calling, the fact that they're victims in this. I don't think it is. Somebody wrote, it's a stupid-ass rule. It's not a rule. It's an unwritten rule. Jokic should have been suspended, but he won't because the NBA is rigged. Okay, listen, you watch it. I as much as I don't like what Jokic did, it is kind of fucked up, but he still shouldn't have done it. So ultimately, I'm going to go with, yeah, it's annoying. Dickhead shouldn't have done it, but that's on Jokic. Come on, you got to be a better leader. Now, that being said, is that going to light a fire under the team? They're going to be all, ooh, he scored a basket on us at the end when we were getting bent over a barrel. But fuck you. We're going to come out and actually play. I said this the other week, over the weekend, too. I will say this. I'm very disappointed in the Denver Nuggets because when McDaniels came out and said that they had no defense, and the reaction from the locker room was, whatever, it doesn't matter. Aaron Gordon said that. He's whatever, it doesn't matter. You guys got no fucking passion. That's the problem. Listen, you guys might squeak out another win. The Timberwolves are taking this series. Oh, but the Huff, the Nuggets have done this before. They've been down 3-1. Yeah, different team. These guys do not have the heart of a champion. They don't. Let's be honest here. The Nuggets are done. They haven't lost yet, but they're done. When they didn't allow a chip to sit on their shoulder and allow that to light a fire up their back end, and they went out there and did the same lazy ass, soft as butter shit, that's when you knew it doesn't matter if you're a Nuggets fan or not. That's where you could see it clear as day. The Denver Nuggets ain't got no balls. They don't. Holy shit, Scotty. You just said the Denver Nuggets ain't got no balls? Cowboy? I said it. Don't like to say it, but it's true. Oh, my gosh. I think you're right, though, Scotty. My goodness gracious. When the Denver Nuggets are looking at themselves in the mirror, they're going, oh, my God. I lost my balls. They're itty bitty. Oh, they're there. They're itty bitty. They got itty bitty balls. And I have no faith in the Denver Nuggets. A few months back, I said, who do you believe in more? Who's going to go further in their playoffs, Avalanche or Nuggets? There's a lot of you that said Nuggets. Boy, don't you feel dumb now? Don't you feel dumb now? Hey, speaking of dumb, Charles Barkley is not happy with David Adelman. Who am I calling dumb? Probably David Adelman.
Well, from Denver, Coach Adelman has done an awful job. Really. Helping the Joker. Because the reason the kid from Minnesota is doing great, they're attacking Joker in the pick and roll. So if you go back and look at all those plays we showed, they're attacking Joker. But I don't like what Coach Adelman is doing with Joker. Joker is not a post-up guy to go one-on-one. He's got to do a much better job putting Rudy in the pick and roll. Because remember when those other teams play against Rudy, they attack him in a double team, in the pick and roll. So I think Coach Adelman got to stop just trying to get a ball to Joker, because that's not his game. But put him in the pick and roll and attack Rudy, and that'll help the Joker free up, because he's not free at all right now. Because even when he's making a shot, it's really difficult.
So here's what's interesting what he said. He's like, that's not Joker's game. So, Adelman, you got to play to your strengths of your players, okay? The shit you're doing isn't working. A student of the game, Charles Barkley, is calling you out saying you're doing it wrong. Don't be a moron and try to force players into doing something they just can't do. Play to their strengths. So, I mean, I see only a few Nuggets supporters out there that are just taking a blind eye to what's going on the court. That's fine, okay? It's fine, but live in reality. It's a lot more fun when you live in reality and go, okay, why are you having them do something that doesn't work? Think about that in a business setting. How many times have you had a boss that is just like, we're going to do it this way? Well, this way doesn't work. And, you know, it falls on deaf ears. And then end up like a couple weeks later, a month later, they're like, okay, we're going back to the old way. I've had that plenty of times. I have. And you just sit there and bite your tongue, or if you're an asshole like me, you go, well, if only someone would have told you. Fuck you to Huff. Fuck you to hell. Right? It's okay to admit that you're wrong on doing something. Just don't make it too late. Being too late would be the series is over. And does David Adelman have the courage to admit that what he's doing is wrong and then to go, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, let's try to fix this? And what are our strengths? What have we been successful with? Okay, do that. This is what they're doing to us. How can we combat that? Well, what we've been doing ain't working worth a shit. So, come on. I get it. It's really difficult in life to admit when you're wrong on something. Okay? We all make mistakes. But do you admit when you're wrong? Okay? It's a hard pill to swallow. David, open your mouth. It's coming. You need to swallow that pill. Okay? Sorry. I was looking for that one with Sean Payton talking about something about swallow. I don't remember. Anyway, the point is the Nuggets need to go out there and be aggressive.
Grab his dick and twist it!
That will work. Do that. I don't care. Get some guys deep on the bench, have them go out there and just start.
Grab his dick and twist it!
Do that, okay? And then they're like, oh shit, the Nuggets are dick twisters. Oh, gotta be careful, right? Whatever it is, you gotta pull out all the tricks now because you guys are desperate.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah, start throwing wrenches. I don't care. You gotta start throwing wrenches into what the Timberwolves are doing because your shit is broken, Nuggets. And the finger is firmly pointed at David Adelman, Alfred E. Newman lookalike motherfucker, Mad Magazine guy. Okay? That's him. Blame him. Real quick, the Colorado Rockies swept the New York Mets over the weekend. That's great. One game got rained out, so they did a doubleheader. I believe that was yesterday on Sunday. Listen, the last two games, it was like 3-1 and 3-0. That's great. Great. I know it's the Mets. The Mets suck. And Chris, big time listener of the show, sorry. Mets suck. He stopped by the ball field the other day. He's like, what's up to Huff? And he's wearing his Mets hat. And he starts talking to me about the draft. I was like, and he's all about the Giants. I was like, Chris, nobody cares about the Giants. Nobody. But anyway, yeah, Chris, Mets suck. But here's the thing. Some people are like, yeah, but it's the Mets. Who gives a shit? That's 3 wins. I still predict that the Colorado Rockies will be well above 500 and making a push for the playoffs come end of the season. So anytime you can get a win, soak it up. And the Rockies, they got a fun offense right now. They do. I don't know anybody on the team's name. I don't. One of our players for Little League went to the Rockies game and he got an autograph, and it's one of their best players. And I for the life of me, I can't think of his fucking name. It starts with an M. And he's just crushing it too. Like, that's a cool signature. And I'm like, I don't remember his name now. But that's the thing. If the Rockies with a bunch of miscellaneous, quote unquote, scrubs can have a successful season, I'm fine with it. I'm fine. So beat the Mets, beat whoever the fuck you want, just be successful. And that's okay. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining the show. That's it for the sports section from the Storms Bros Junk Removal Studios. Again, check them out at stormsbrothersjunk.com and get that free quote on the junk you need removed. And do what I do with the neighborhood is we get a bunch of people that are like, hey, I got some stuff. Maybe we all chip in. This is me being cheap too. Maybe we all chip in and get some junk removal and, get like 2 or 3 houses together. Everybody, you start asking about your neighbor's junk, their ears are going to perk up. Hey, Jeff, can I see your junk? And he's like, absolutely, Scott. And I'm like, I mean, the junk that's miscellaneous things around your house that you need to get rid of. And he's like, oh, yeah, that works too. Okay. Whatever, guys, whatever. But you get everybody together and then you get like just a neighborhood junk removal. That's where you get Storms Bros junk removal. They'll come out, get all that, and just declutter your entire neighborhood, to be honest, if you want to do it that way. But anyway, go check them out at Storms Bros Junk. God, my brain. You guys, you said it before I did, and I screwed it up. StormsBrothersJunk.com. See, you did it right the first time. I'm the one that screwed it up. StormsBrothersJunk.com. Oh, my God. Anyway, you guys have an amazing day. Better than mine. I know you will. Let's keep moving forward. I'll talk to you next time.